You're listening to The Mountain Spirit, a podcast of Christian Appalachian Project, or CAP for short. This is a place where we get to share with you inspirational stories of faith, service, and compassion. I'm your host, Tina Bryson. I'm a firm believer that we're all connected by our shared humanity, and that finding that intersection sometimes just means having a conversation. And sometimes finding that intersection is an opportunity to listen, to gain a new perspective. Today is Giving Tuesday, a movement that unleashes the power of generosity through people and organizations to transform their communities and the world. We wanted to take this bonus episode to share with you a snapshot of how the generosity of spirit can make a transformational difference. I hope you enjoy the show. Like many of you, when a natural disaster happens, the images that flash across the news showing the devastation are heartbreaking, and it moves my heart to pray and to give. But the news cycle changes quickly, replaced by the latest story, and the families impacted are forgotten outside of their community. But let me take you back to March of 2021. Devastating historic floods hit eastern Kentucky. Then in December of that same year, an EF4 tornado struck the western part of the state. Just 6 months later, in July 2022, floods again ravaged eastern Kentucky. I've learned a lot about disaster relief and recovery, and I've seen the human toll of losing everything but the clothes on your back, and maybe what you can carry out. But it's local charities like Christian Appalachian Project and long-term recovery teams in the community that help families put their lives back together. This work of helping families in Appalachia is only possible through folks moved by the spirit of generosity. That looks different for different people. It might be continued prayers for impacted families, and there is surely power in prayer. It may be donations like those provided on Giving Tuesday and throughout the year. Or it may be the service of volunteers who literally help families rebuild. Here's Bryan Byrd, Director of Christian Appalachian Project's Home Repair Program.
Still a lot of families that haven't been able to move back into their homes, or they're still living in homes that aren't really safe, warm, and dry, and that's our mission, is to try and get them back into that condition. We have several people still on our waiting list to repair. It's unique for us. We do a lot of disaster relief work, but we do it in areas often where we don't get to follow up and see what the end result is, and you know, how long does it take people to get back in their homes. It's a long process after an event like this, but this is in our backyard, and so you know, we'd rather not be doing this kind of work at all, but it's nice to be able to do it for families that we've been involved with from the beginning. Almost you know, right after the flood happened, we ran into these situations and formed relationships with these families, and so it's a blessing to be able to finish the jobs that we started with tear out long ago and get back to them. The recovery process is certainly the longer part of this process. You know, the disaster relief efforts happen pretty quickly, usually a couple of weeks, depending on the size of the event. And it's all about demolition. It's all about trying to clean up and keep things from getting worse than they already were. This part of the process is, again, getting people back into stable conditions, back into warm homes with electricity and running water, and it takes a long time. It could be a number of months, even years, that this will take. And again, it's in our home area. We serve this area every day. If it weren't for disaster recovery work going on, we'd be repairing homes that needed repaired, and we'll go back to that eventually. But right now, this is definitely the more urgent need in our area. We've been very blessed with our donors throughout this event. They've really stepped up and helped us cover costs of these repairs. Without them, there's no way that we could do that. Certainly building materials are much more expensive. Some things are still in short supply and hard to come by. It's a hard decision sometimes, which projects do we work on? And these projects, many of them require huge amounts of work and huge amounts of materials, and without those donations, there would be no way we could do that. It's great to see students back at WorkFest. It's been a hard or 2 or 3 years, COVID hit, and it hit actually in the middle of WorkFest, the year that it started. We were starting out that year with a week that looked like it was going to be normal, and as the 2 or 3 weeks went on, we went from what we thought was normal to shut down, essentially. And it took a year or two to kind of get back to the place where I think we are today, where we still have some precautions in place, and that still affects our decision making, but it's great to see so many students coming back. We've got new schools that have joined us this year for the first time, and it's just exciting to have folks back and doing what we love to do every day.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Did you know that November 28th is Giving Tuesday? On this Global Day of Giving, families in need in Appalachia are counting on you. Thanks to a generous group of CAP friends, your gift gets matched up to $75,000. Don't miss this opportunity to provide nutritious food, warm clothing, critical home repairs, and Christ's love to twice as many people living in unimaginable poverty. Visit christianapp.org to give today and have your gift doubled to help children, families, and seniors in need.
For more than 3 decades, college students from around the country have been called to the Appalachian Mountains to spend spring break serving children, their families, seniors, and individuals with disabilities. They might build a ramp to provide safe access out of a home for a senior who's had a stroke, or add insulation to a home to keep a child warm in the cold winter months. But sometimes, like in recent years, they have come with willing hearts to help families rebuild their homes and their lives following devastating natural disasters. The University of Scranton has brought students for many years. Listen for a bit longer, and you'll hear why their service is important to the students and the staff.
So we're with the University of Scranton in Scranton, Pennsylvania, and we brought 7 students to be more giving of their community, to help other communities besides their own, and just to come with an open heart and an open mind and just be present in the day, every single day. Be present in the day and just talk with the families that we're helping and just listen to their stories, because I think that's really what they want. They want for us to listen to them. It really means a lot. It shows the humanity part of themselves. The University of Scranton is all about cura personalis, which is a care of your whole person, not just physically, but mentally, emotionally. And I hope that our students are doing that for the community here and helping the families. I'm hoping that they continue to serve their own communities and look forward to coming again in the next year, if not over the summer on their own. And they continue to serve anywhere and any place that they can. Even in your own local community, if you just reach out. There's all kinds of disasters, not just flood disasters, but I was saddened by what happened and the loss. I felt the loss, not only of material things, but of family, and it was very sad. It touched my heart a lot. It's one thing to see pictures in the news and hear the stories on the news, but when you're present at the location, it's a totally different feeling. And I felt it. I'm feeling it every single day. The core values of the University of Scranton, it's a Jesuit university, and it's based upon the Jesuit priests, and it's all about education and learning, not just spiritually, but academically as well. So they bring us all together with that, and taking care of the whole person and taking care of others, and not only, like I said, not only religion, but education as well. I want them to continue to come here. This is an awesome experience for anybody. Try to keep in touch with CAP and come back on their own and continue to help. Why are you waiting for so long? Come and do it now. Like, why wait? Just do it. Yeah, just do it.
Thank you for listening on this Giving Tuesday. That spirit of generosity is real. It makes a difference. You make a difference. There are hard things that happen in this world, and many people who are suffering, even when everyone else has moved on. But there is also power to change this world, one community at a time, one family at a time. It really is possible. I believe it. We hope you'll check out next week's episode. Tell your friends to check us out too. You can follow the work of Christian Appalachian Project on all social media channels and find the show online at christianapp.org/podcast or anywhere you get your favorite podcasts. Be sure to subscribe so that you never miss an episode. We'll see you next week.